Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ohio State Call-In Show here at the Voice of College Football. I'm your host, Garrison Gaddy. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, even for friends, family, or foes, whether it be for other college fan bases, whether it be Oklahoma, North Carolina, the team of North Oregon, etc. We have it all here at the Voice of College Football Network. And before we also get started here, if you haven't already, everybody, please check out our website, vocfb.com, where you can also see the schedule for all the channels we have, even this one, and also check out the articles that our fine journalists provide on there. I think that's where I go to for myself. Also, you can also check out anything that I post on there, whether it be article-wise. But I want to get started early here, and right now I'll put the call-in link into the chat. We'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. And also, if you have any questions or any comments that you have what we've heard today, anything regarding the Ohio State team, anything that you want to talk about, please put it in the chat. Again, this is your show, not mine. This is the Voice of College Football, which means that you also are the voice here at the channel. First off, shout out to, we got a look at this. We got a bulldog here. Mike Tampa Dog says go Dogs. Hey, Mike, I'll tell you what. I've actually been shout out to my guy Keon on X. I've actually been pretty I don't want to say down on the Bulldogs this year. I'm kind of interested to see what you guys look at quarterback, because at the end of the day, I do think that you're coming off of last year for Georgia, where the running game wasn't really there, the offensive line wasn't there, and the run defense wasn't there. Also, on top of that, you got to factor in the fact that you guys had the most drops in college football, which, I mean, with guys like Aaron Smith, I didn't see coming. But I do think that you guys will be much better this season. Again, I think Georgia's one of those teams that you still got to look out for at the end of the day. It's still one of the most talented teams in college football. So, yeah, good. Hey, glad to have you in here, Mike Tampa Dog. Again, this for anybody, Buckeye fans, anyone that's outside the fan base. Would love to hear your questions. I'll even answer them if I can. I'll answer them at the best of my ability when it comes to your guys' own programs. Shout out to Sage, Ohio. Says, hello, Buckeyes. Hello to you, Sage. Glad to see you in here as always. Well, and Aaron, I'm going to get to your question. I'm going to, real quick, though, I'm going to start with some news coming out of Ohio State's fall camp. But again, Aaron, just want to make sure I let you know that I'm getting to your question here soon. And again, before we get started, please like, share, subscribe to the channel if you all haven't already. If you'd like to become a member here, please press that join button. We have some upcoming interviews that I'm really excited for, guys I've been talking to on the team that I can't wait to bring to you guys. I won't tell you who it is yet, but just got to get some more conversations going there. But let's get started here. So I think the biggest news right now is Edric Houston left the field today early with an apparent lower leg injury. I think it looks like more like an ankle injury. Looks like, listen, guys, that slit turf inside of the woody, it has to get rid. They have to get rid of that. That type of turf is illegal. They don't use it in the NFL anymore, right? Yeah, and I'm not really worried about it. As of right now, I think for Edric, it's important for him. Sit down, relax. Don't do anything that you don't have to do. Again, he's one of the most important players on this Ohio State team right now. He's one of those guys that I think you can't risk getting completely injured. Again, I think it's just an ankle thing at the most, probably high ankle, which, again, the high ankle is not something that you want to hear, not something that you want to see. But at the end of the day, I think Edge is going to be fine. I think that if you go on the X app, a lot of people are I would say they are let's say overreacting, okay? And I think that's fair to say. People are overreacting to it. I don't think it's anything to be too scared about, but you do want to make sure that Edric is going to be healthy through the rest of the fall camp and getting up to the season, especially week 1 against Texas, who's going to have a good interior offensive line, a really good run game, and especially with Arch being back there with the athlete that he is. Next, I would say that this also gives a chance for guys like Tawan Malone, Will Smith Jr., Moore to get more reps, especially with the first team. Those are guys that we are going to need during the season, even if Edric is healthy. Especially guys like when it comes to Moore, I think he has all the size and ability to be a game record for Ohio State. We just had to see. Again, everyone wants to be down on Ohio State's defensive tackle unit. I think it's just about seeing guys going out there and proving it, right? A few other things I want to point out too. Our linebacker unit, Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese average together 6'4", 240 pounds. Arvell at 238. Sonny Styles at 243 pounds. If you remember in the spring game, Jake Butt one of the best Big Ten tight ends of all time from the team up north. He said he believes that these two guys are the most athletic linebacker duo in college football coming into the season. I would agree with that. Those guys are not just big; they're really freakish athletes. And it was really funny today. Is some Wolverine fan, he commented on it and said, he was talking some smack about Sonny Styles. But I mean, at the end of the day, Sonny Styles' first time ever playing linebacker was last year. Came in, reclassified early to Ohio State, and as a 17-year-old, didn't play much. Then the next year played safety, and then this year played linebacker. And in his first year at linebacker, shout out to James Larnaz for developing him. He became a second-team linebacker, while guys like Ernest Hausman were honorable mentions, and Jay Sean Barham from the team up north were nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be mentioned in that, right? But I do think that's really cool to see those guys and their size. Also, C.J. Hicks. Now, he's up to 233 pounds. Love to see that with him being an edge rusher and defensive end. Also, I did not know C.J. Hicks was 6'3". That actually blew my mind. But yeah, 6'3", 233 pounds. Really excited to see what C.J. Hicks can do this year. I think that he's one of those guys with that lesson that he has. He can really show that this year that this is his chance to make some noise. He's been wanting to play that position for some time now, and I'm really excited. I'm sure everyone else is. Jelani Thurman, he is down to 258 pounds. Last year he was around 260, 265. I'm happy that he's lost some weight. He's still pretty athletic. Also in the spring game, we were able to see his hands look a little bit better. So yeah, Jelani Thurman, 6'8", I'm sorry, 6'5", 6'6", 258 pounds. And then Jeremiah Smith, up to 223 pounds. And I was watching Cover 3's podcast, and they said that an Ohio State fan asked him, should they be worried about the size that hit like him getting too big? And no. And you got to remember, JJ has his own personal trainer at Ohio State. And also, and as you gain weight, guys do weight training. And you would have to believe, especially at the D1 level at Ohio State, but also just for Jeremiah Smith, that they're making sure that he is at his peak level. And even last year when they asked Coach Ryan Day what's so hard why is it so hard to cover him, it's because of his size. And so yeah, JJ 6'4", 223 pounds. Love to see that. Something else to point out: this offensive line is massive this year. Ethan Onyanwa, 6'6", 335. Luke Montgomery, my boy, 6'5", 310 pounds. Also, by the way, everybody, if you haven't already, you can find. I'll put in here the links in here some point tonight in the show, but go check it out. Mike and we did an interview with Luke Montgomery. It was awesome kid of faith. Also, it was great to talk to him. Next, you have Carson Hensman at 6'5", 300 pounds. Love to see that. Tegra, we've always known he's been massive, 6'6", 327. And then you have Austin Sarabel at 6'5", 320. So this Ohio State offensive line, big guys this year. And I think that's going to be really important. Again, we have a guy like Max Clare. You have the running backs units that we have that are very talented guys. Then you have got two guys at quarterback who I'm sure you guys have questions about, who I want to talk about also. You want that. You want guys that have had a playing time, guys that are big, that are able to protect him. And then also some stats for today from today's practice. Julian Sand today was 9 for 14 with an interception. Lincoln Keenholz 15 for 19 with a touchdown. Good job out of Lincoln. And then Tavian St. Clair 8 for 9. So yeah, I would say that's a good day for these guys. Again, it's fall camp, first day. Ryan Day has always said this. He's always looking for high level consistency. That's what he wants out of his quarterbacks. Something that you got out of Justin Fields, something that you got out of C.J. Stroud, and then throughout the year we saw that we got through Will Howard. So yeah, really excited to see what we get from those guys. Looking very excited to see what we see for the rest of camp out of these guys. But yeah, so let's get started here, everybody. Again, thank you for joining the show today, of the call-in show. And here's the call-in link for anybody that would like to call in. Again, friend or foe, please, we'd love to hear what you have to say, whether it be about Ohio State or anything else, any questions you may have. Everything is free. So I want to get to this question from Aaron. He said, who do you think will be the best replacement for Edric? Great question. Who for Edric if he can't go week one? Hopefully nothing serious. I would say Tom Malone. And if not that, I think that it will be a serious consideration of moving Bo Atkinson into that interior. Bo Atkinson, about 6'3", 6'4", 265 pounds. Again, on the slider side. Edric is 270 pounds, so not that far off from there. But I think that would be the best thing to do, in my opinion, because he's played before. He's a really good defensive lineman. And so that's personally what I would do. Again, you don't. We gotta hope that Edric is there, right? And again, we hope it's nothing that's way too serious. But that is what I would have towards and lean to. Let me get to some more here. I'll bring my first caller here. Aaron says, I got Georgia going 10 to 11-1. Same here. Same here. Shout out to Richie. Richie's in the chat. Everybody, good to see you. Mike Tampa Dog says, we have Bama, Texas, Ole Miss at home, and Auburn. And Auburn's not a threat to you guys. I don't think Tennessee's a threat either. The rest is inconsequential. Now, listen, I could agree with that. But again, I think that you guys beat Bama this year. And of course, you guys have had troubles with them, but I think you guys get them this season, even though I think Bama is a little bit more superior in talent, but I think you guys can get them this year. Ole Miss, I have no faith in this year. Again, I think Georgia's still one of the best teams in the nation. Yeah. Day 1K, my brother, good to see you in here. He says, protect Edric at all costs. Again, bro, I'm with you. If we have to sit his ass down, I would be okay with that. So I might thought it might be a hyperextension. Aaron, stop cussing in here. Stop cussing here. We're not going to say that word right now. Richard Gunnar Stockton is good. Dogs are dangerous. Like the Noah Thomas and Zachariah Branch edition. Zachariah Branch is one of the best weapons in college football, most definitely. Look, shout out to my boys over at the Michigan, the Voice of College Football. They say go blue. Stop cussing here, guys. Exactly. Boo and throw tomatoes at them. Okay, well, guys, we're going to go ahead and bring our first caller. Tyler, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm great. And Garrison, how you been lately?
Man, I've been gravy, my guy. I'll tell you what, best news in my life right now. My 5th nephew was just born. I haven't been a shout out to you, little Miles. Glad to bring you in here. Born a Buckeye. You're going to die a Buckeye, just like me. So, yeah, man, glad that he's here. What's going on with you, man?
It's been good down here in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. How's the weather down there? Is it a little hot?
It's raining right now.
Dude, it's been up here in Michigan. It's been like Florida. It's been like, well, thankfully it's cooled down a bit. It's been like 78. But over the last week, it's been 91 and raining and muggy. The worst thing you could ever have. Not good for my hair either. So,
at Garrison, I gotta say this. Before the season, I was like, didn't I tell you that we gotta trust this and the backups?
You did. I remember that.
So I'm telling you right now. I have full faith that this team's even better than last year.
I think there's a quiet confidence right now in a lot of Ohio State fans that this could be the case. The defense, I think, in the beginning of the year is going to take a little step back, right? You got a new defensive coordinator, but I think people forget that the rest of the coaching staff is there position-wise, right? The only person that we lost was Alan Clark, which is a big – listen, I'm not going to lie to you. That's a big loss, especially losing him at Texas recruiting-wise. But I do think there's a chance that the offense is going to be better this year. I think there's a good chance of that. The running back thing we're going to have to see, but when you have guys like James Peoples, I think people are sleeping on C.J. Donaldson, actually. And then you have Lamar Bo Jackson back there, who I think is the most talented guy in that room. Man, we'll see what happens, man. I think there's a chance that could be true.
Honestly, Garrison, I've heard lately that people are describing this team like 2014. There's a lot of talent on this team. They're just young.
Yep.
And I'm telling you right now, if it's a 2014 team, I will take that all day long.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same realm, but you look back at that 2014 team. If you remember, that team won the championship. We thought a year early, right? It was definitely a year early. Also, I'm thinking about the fact that we didn't think that. We had no plans on JT Barrett starting that season. For me personally, do I have Ohio State win the championship this year? I would say not right now. I actually have Clemson winning it all, but I do think Ohio State can.
I don't.
But I'm high on Clemson. But I think 2026, I think that's the team that people should be very afraid of.
I'm gonna be honest, Garrison. I am not worried about any team across college football right now. I'm a guy that I'm a firm believer in gut feelings. And I have a gut feeling this team's going to dominate across college football.
There's a high chance they could. I'll tell you what. If and by the way, like I'm one of those guys. I can care less about who the quarterback is. Just make. I just want the guy that's going to win the games, right? And run the offense efficiently and at a high level. So like whoever, whether it be Lincoln, whether it be Julian, I think if they're able to play at a consistent high level, I'm not sure what stops this Ohio State offense. I'm really not. And then also, I mean, people are down on the D line. I'm not so down on it. I do think at D tackle we gotta see some things, but of course, well, not. I think Caden McDonald and Edric Houston be great. It's the guys behind him. We still gotta see it. I think from linebacker to the secondary, there's no worries. There are no worries.
And the reason why I think that, Garrison, honestly, it's the coaching staff. Like people, internet,
Internet,
lightning is and going off right now. So it's, but honest, what I was saying though is the coaching staff is, yeah, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, they're new, but I trust Brian Hartline. I trust Matt Patricia. He won 3 Super Bowl rings. If that's not if that's not validation, I don't know what is.
Yeah, and it's funny. I've said that, and everyone tries to discount that and says, he's under Bill Belichick. I can care less about that. I have a lot of respect for this sport, as I'm sure you do. I'm not one to like the highest level of football that I've been able to compete at is at the D2 NAIA level. Mm-hmm. Who am I to discredit someone who has 3 Super Bowl rings? Like, who the hell am I?
Yeah, if you're someone that's not in that, if you haven't seen 3, let alone 1 Super Bowl ring, because getting 1 alone is hard, extremely difficult. I'm a Broncos fan, and I've seen 3 in my lifetime. And that alone is difficult. My mom is a New England fan. She's seen 6 in her life. So
I'm a Cowboy. I haven't seen one.
So the fact that everyone's discounting Matt Patricia's hard work and dedication to his craft is, if you think you can do better, why are you in that position?
Listen, man. I first of all, I agree with you. And then I also, shout out to my boy Mike. He's in the chat right now. I agree with you. We've talked about this before, actually. That, and it's a long time ago, but him and Coach Walt, they coached together at Syracuse a long time ago. But the same verbiage that they use right now that Coach Walt has used, MP still uses it. So I think there's a good continuity right there that's going to be able to make the defense work together. And also, when you have a guy like Caleb Downs, who is renowned he's renowned as, if not the smartest, he's one of the smartest football players in college football. And you have him on the back end, that safety, who also plays close to the line of scrimmage. And he can, kind of quarterback that line, that whole defense, along with a guy like Sonny Styles, right? So yeah, I agree with you.
So, and with the offense, I'm like, okay, Brian Hartline. My only problem with him was, okay, Brian, you needed to mature, because the last time we seen you as an offensive coordinator was during the offseason. You got a DUI.
Were you talking about the ATV?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not laughing about him getting one. I'm just saying, like, that's just crazy. He did it in the ATV. But then again, listen, I'm from the Midwest. I'm pretty sure a lot of us have done that.
Yeah, I'm from the Midwest too. Yeah. I'm from Ohio, but it still doesn't change the fact that if you get a DUI, you get a DUI.
Yeah, you got to deal with it. You got to deal with it.
That's what I wanted to see with Coach Hartline. I didn't want to see if he can actually call plays. I wanted to see if he can actually be an adult and actually lead people the right way and lead by example. So far, he's doing
it. I think he can. He's been here for 9 years, right? Played for this program, undefeated against the team up north. And I like to make sure that people know, that mistake, that doesn't define the man, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm confident. I'm confident in BH, I'm never gonna, I ain't gonna discredit the guy for it. I won't call it a mistake because it's a choice. But I think when you have the respect of the best position room in college football, I have to, and you have the respect of one of the best coaches in college football right now, the guy that actually holds the best winning percentage in college football history, in Ryan Day. Yeah, I'm very confident in him.
Yep, that's all I wanted to see, and so far, I got my warm and fuzzy feeling about this team is because my 3 questions going into training camp were actually my biggest question is this team still hungry? Because I'm very big on I don't want this team to be complacent.
Actually, I want to bring this up here. It says he's talking to Rich, saying Richie Yep. He said it on Bobby Carmen's show on the Juice this morning. Who you guys talk? Are you talking about Matt Patricia? Yeah, bro. So a few months ago, and shout out to my guy Ryan. He's not here anymore. Going bigger things with in journalism. But when I saw Matt Patricia, he came in a little bit slimmer. Maybe he was on some Ozempic. I don't know. Maybe he could hit the gym. Did that. You remember that big beard he used to rock? He shaved it down. That hat he used to wear backwards, he turned it forward. And he seems a little bit more giddier now. He smiles more. Recruits have said that they relate well to him. They love what he brings, how he shows them his concept and how they can fit in it. The players love him. I am not worried at all about Matt Patricia. I'm not, and I have to imagine for a guy like Matt Patricia that you're in the NFL for a long time, and when you go into the draft, for each round, more than times than likely the players get worse. Right now at Ohio State, when you're recruiting, you have the pick of the litter. Man, I bet you being here is like being a kid in a candy shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what else do you think coming out of camp? What else do you like? What are your thoughts?
Well, we're not going to learn anything with the quarterbacks yet. We're not. It's just
Not at all.
It's just a fact. So the fact that and today was vindication for that too, because you had Julian with a 3rd or 4th string offensive line against Kenya Jackson and CJ Hicks. Like, yeah, it's I'm not. You know what? Actually, I gotta bring something up because it's just because you said something earlier that really just made me remember something.
Okay.
You know how people are so worried about the depth on defensive line, defensive tackle? I'm not worried for another reason, because we don't even know what this team's going to look like in 2026, let alone 2027, Garrison. So why are we worried about the depth right now when we don't even – why are we and people are worried about it down the road? I don't even know what this team's going to look like next year.
Yeah, and that's why I haven't been like at first I was, but after a while I wasn't so like hard on the defensive tackle line depth. I'm also not worried about the edge. I'm not worried about edges at all, or in defensive ends. But the guys like Tom Malone, he just quit baseball finally, so we get to see what he looks like.
Yep.
Guys like Jason Moore. Yeah, the spring game wasn't that great, but then again, guys, it's the spring, and I don't count the spring as real football. At the end, he's a 6'7", 310-pound guy. He can still at the least, he can fill the gaps. Take up bodies. And he was still a top 100 recruit coming out. So the talent is there somewhere. You just gotta bring it out. We just gotta see it. You talk about guys like Will Smith Jr. I mean, we've heard a lot of good things about him. Shout out to Luke Montgomery again, everybody. If you haven't seen it already, check out the interview Mike and I did. Mike's in the chat. He can tell you all about it. The interview we had with Luke Montgomery. He talked about Jason Moore and Will Smith Jr. He said those guys they've been looking good. So, and me personally, I'm going to take the word of a guy that faces them every day in practice before I take the word of a fan, right?
Yep.
So even myself, and guys like, and even there's guys that are reporters and journalists who get to see practices here and there. I'm going to take Luke Montgomery's word over theirs. So now I'm not worried about that at all.
And I also said this too, and privately, Garrison, I think this offensive line is going to be the best in the nation.
Listen. I'm happy, and Mike, if you in the chat, man, I want you to talk to this because I don't think anyone is as high on this offensive line as me and Mike are. Austin Saraveld, Iron Buckeye of the spring, and that means a lot. That's not some small order right there. Ethan Anianwa, went to Rice to step up in competition, but we got him over the team up north, who clearly, they've had good offensive lines. They clearly wanted him too. He's one of the best offensive tackles in college football. He also likes smelling salt, which means I know he's a tough ass. The guys from the interior, Oregon, Tennessee, Texas, and Notre Dame had four of the best defensive lines in college football last year. We
ran over them.
They mauled them. And me personally, I have Luke Montgomery as a preseason potential All-American. So
I have Carson Hinzman as well.
I can see Carson. And people forgot. When last season happened and he had to step in, and everyone's saying, "Oh, what's Ohio State going to do with the center position?" He started all 2023.
Honestly, and you know what? I'm glad you also brought that up too. In 2023 with the liability on the offensive line, this should have never happened in the first place because Luke Whippler should have been there in the first place.
Good point.
Because
that's a good point.
Carson Hinzman started as a true freshman.
Yes.
So
he's a really good player.
Yeah, but that should have not been. He should never been set up for failure like that in the first place.
Well, I want to answer this real quick. Is from the Ultimate Sports Network. Thank you for joining the show. Is Edric Houston done for the season? No.
He just rolled his ankle.
Yeah, that guy rolled his ankle on some turf that split turf has no business being in the Woody. Listen, I think anyone that watches this show right now in the live chat, if you are watching this after the fact and you're in the comments, we should all donate money to Ohio State because clearly we aren't using it for that and get new turf. And they are based like the turf that Ohio State's running on is meant for sneakers. It ain't meant for cleats.
Yeah.
Well, it's terrible.
And that's another reason why I cannot stand, honestly, the fact that Gene Smith was our athletic director. and he set this team up for failure a long time ago. And that's one of the biggest things I cannot stand, Garrison, is being set up for this team or people in general being set up for failure. And so the fact that Gene Smith did that and didn't invest in the football program for so long,
yeah. Like I saw some people, they're talking crap about Ross Bjork. They ain't got nothing to do with Ross Bjork.
Yeah, he's fixing all Gene Smith's problems that he should have fixed a long time ago.
For sure. But any last thoughts, man? I'm gonna get to our halftime point, and then I'm bringing the next caller. Anything you want to leave us with?
I'm good, Garrison.
Hey, well, Tyler, man. First, I was good to see you after a long time, man, and I hope you have a good rest of your night, man. And OH,
IO,
my guy. Everybody, before we continue with the show, give a quick message here from the Voice of College Football. Get your business, product, service, or personal brand to the next level by partnering with the Voice of College Football. And let's discuss how you also can reach your target market. The Voice of College Football is a growing network with a large following, so let's find out how we can help you grow with us. Check out the experience of one of our current partners, that being Win Agency, posted here on the screen. And just like our community, we are here to deliver for you. Contact us at sponsorships at bocfb.com. Again, that is sponsorships at bocfb.com today. day. Everybody, I'm going to bring somebody in here who I've been waiting to call in. Wolverine fan here. Good person, actually. I like to talk ball with them. Tree Dog, how are you?
How's it going, man? I'm a man of my word. I told you I'd call in.
No, man, I'm happy you did. I'm happy you did. Having a good day?
Yeah, not too bad, man. I don't got too long. I have to go help a family member move a piano, but I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be a man of my word and call in. I wanted to call in and talk some football,
Hey,
bro.
before we start though, I do want to get this out real quick. My boy EV, thank you for the 4.99 contributing to the Voice College Football channel here. Says tap it in, hurt Atkinson and Jackson were dominant. Hope it's not a serious injury for Houston. No. I'm not surprised that Atkinson and Jackson are dominating. Kenyatta, big guy, 6'5", 265 pounds, monster athlete. Bo Atkinson, coming out of North Carolina, he's had a. Look, I think Bo under Larry Johnson is going to be a great player. I think, you get that development coming out of North Carolina to Ohio State is going to be there. And then for Houston, I don't think it's that serious, man. Rolled ankle. I'm sure he'll be fine. Just, sit him out for a week or two, ice it up, eat some bananas, and relax. But what's going on? What's going on, Tree?
Oh, not too much, man. I figured we could skip the D-line talk, man. That topic's been beat to death on every show. I figured I'd call in, and I wanted to ask you, and then I figured you could ask me, just like as an Ohio State fan, because you're pretty reasonable for the most part. I know the Michigan fans give you shit, but you're pretty reasonable, dude.
I try.
So I was wondering, what games would you say that are on your schedule that you think that you're most worried about? I think besides Texas, that's obvious.
Yeah. So I'll just go on the schedule here. So I'm not worried about Illinois, but I do think that Illinois has something that I think some people are down on them. They think they're being overrated.
Yeah,
I think when you bring in a veteran quarterback, a good defense,
yeah,
they bring in 86% of their production from last year's back, which leads the country, and you have a good football coach. I think all of that leads to a good thing, right? So
yes,
depending on
definitely.
what house they happen, listen, no one is above reproach. Anybody can be upset. So I would say that.
Yeah,
The next game I would say, again, not a game that I'm completely worried about. But you look at the game, Washington, it's at Washington. A lot of times the Big Ten teams don't
definitely.
do well on the West Coast. I think Washington is going to have a top 5 at least offense in the Big Ten. You have DeMond Williams. They also have one of the best running backs in the country, I believe, a top 5 running back in my estimation. So
Yes,
we'll see what they have. I think their offensive line is still a question. Defense is still going to be a big question. So I think Ohio State still wins that game. Next on that list, man, I think you gotta jump straight to the game against you guys.
yeah,
At the end of the day, the game is the game. It's in Ann Arbor. And what we all love about that game is that it's at
yes,
the end of the season because that's when the team should be at their best, right?
of course.
Bryce Underwood, who we all expect to start, I think it's kind of the underlying thing we all know he's going to start. He should be at that point at his best. The offensive line, still some questions there for you guys at left tackle, at right guard. There's a battle going on there. I don't think it's a struggle, it's just a battle going on. I think guys like Andrew Sprague are still going to be that. I think I actually have Andrew Sprague on my preseason All-American list. Giovanni El-Hadi, I think last year he had a down year, but he should be better this year. Really good player. Defense is going to be that defense. I still want to see what that defensive line looks like overall, and see what your corners look like in terms of depth. But yeah, that game. So those are the games I will look to. How about you?
Yeah. Well, I think I'll go Ohio State, then I'll go Michigan. So I think for me, as a football fan, and I'm kind of like you, Garrison. I'm from Ohio, so I know all the Ohio State players and stuff, just like you know Michigan. Like my whole
Yep.
friend circle is Ohio State fans. Like that's so I'm just like you are with that. I think I think a lot of people are giving you guys a lot are giving Illinois a lot more credit against Ohio State.
I agree.
I don't think that Ohio State loses that game. I'll say that in the chat talking shit, but I don't really think that.
But see,
I think
why even do that? Tell the truth. Just tell the truth.
I just like to get you guys all stirred up, man. It's hilarious.
It's like what I was in their guys' chat and I said that Derek Moore's better than TJ Guy and everybody wanted to get mad at me in the chat for saying the truth.
I
Come
mean,
on.
I don't know why that was such a triggering statement. I mean,
I don't know.
kind of obvious. I mean, TJ Guy would have gotten more playing time if he was better than Derek Moore.
And I think people forgot that like TJ Guy got to a year before him.
Yeah, I was saying more along the lines of experience. That was my only thing, and that topic. But yeah, as far as Illinois, I mean, if you watched the Michigan game last year, realistically, Michigan should have beat them, and they had opportunities to beat them even without a quarterback. So I think that they were in those like really tight games all season, like 2-3 points, pull it out at the end. The ball bounced lucky for them, where that kind of thing. So I think they'll be good, just because all the reasons you said, because those are the ingredients for a good football team at every level.
Exactly.
So when you look at it like that, I think they'll be good, but I don't think that they. First of all, to beat Ohio State, you have to believe you can beat Ohio State. Or even I mean, Michigan's a little different. Michigan's had like those really off seasons, but with Ohio State, it's like you have to Michigan for 8 years didn't believe they could beat Ohio State. They did. It took whatever happened over. It's well documented. I'm not going to get into it, but between 2020 and 2021, they had to develop that belief. Illinois ain't got that. So if they mess around and get lucky, of course that could happen. I just don't think that they're a team that could go out and beat a defending. They did beat a defending national champion. Yeah. My bad. But Michigan wasn't the same as Ohio State is this year.
Well, actually, I'm really interested to see if they're actually going to play for the Illinois Trophy. A lot of people forget that a lot of people forget Ohio State and Illinois do play for a trophy. We just haven't played for a while. Yeah, it's called the Illinois. It's a turtle.
Oh wow! I mean, that's kind of cool. I actually roasted Ohio State people like, you guys don't even got the trophy games.
Wait, let me ask you a question. Can you guess the last time Illinois won that trophy?
When was it? Ooh, I don't even know.
Do you remember Juice Williams?
Oh, yep. When they had him and they had Juice Williams and what was the other guy?
The running back was
played for the Steelers. Mendenhall.
And they had a wide receiver too on that team. I can't remember his name.
Oh, I can't remember either. I just know
last time.
I'm a Steeler fan, so Mendenhall was obviously a Steeler fan. Yeah, that's crazy. I knew that team beat Illinois, but I didn't know if Illinois beat Ohio State, but that Illinois team, but I didn't know if they had it since then. Yeah. I know they were pretty good a couple times, but probably not to that level.
For sure.
But I think you guys win that one. The game, if I was an Ohio State fan, that I'd be most worried about is Washington. Like last year, when Michigan went there at kickoff, when I saw that crowd, I knew we were going to lose. I knew it was a wrap. Just the energy.
Dude, it's a crazy. I try to tell people in the Big Ten, outside of Penn State, Oregon and Washington's stadiums are insanely loud. They're built to be that.
It's crazy. Yeah, and I just think I honestly think that will be the game that I'd be most concerned with. I'd be concerned if Michigan was going out there. Anybody just has to go out there from the Big Ten, that you should definitely be worried about that.
Look, Big Ten teams, and let's just keep it at our two programs. We have a history of losing out there, and that's just the truth of the matter. And so and it's not that again, Washington, their defense is still probably going to suck, but yes. I mean, on any given day, dude, when you have a dynamic quarterback like they have, sometimes, man, crazy things happen, and
you have that kind of fanatical energy behind you. You just feel like you can do anything. I never played college football, but I played in a state championship, and I remember what that was like. We lost big.
Where'd you play at?
I'm from Ohio. I played for a high school called Wellsville, a tiny little place.
Okay, nice, man, nice. Wait, so wait, Tree. You're a Buckeye-born Michigan fan?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm a Michigan-born Buckeye, so I guess it's okay.
I told you we're the same, bro. We're the same. But for me, there's a slight caveat, because where I live at, if you ever look at the map of the United States, Ohio and Pennsylvania touch, and there's West Virginia, right there at the bottom. I live right there, where all three touch. You could stand on my hill and you can look and see Pennsylvania, and if you look over, to the left, there's West Virginia. You're standing in Ohio. So that's
it's right near West Virginia.
Yeah, right now. I
Okay,
mean, literally,
okay.
like if for here where I live at, if you wanted to have a night out, like a night out drinking, you'd go to West Virginia rather than go out in Ohio because there's better places and the hours are better. Like last call's at like 3. So like it's
Yeah.
that close. Or if you wanted like a city night, you go to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's like 45 minutes from me. But I live in Ohio, which is crazy.
So yeah,
So
what do you think are the harder games for you guys?
so oh, but anyway, that's why I'm a Michigan fan because my family is Pitt Panthers fans, and everybody here is Ohio State.
Hmm.
And but like there's the fanatical Ohio State fans. Well, there's Ohio State fans here that think Ohio State could beat the Browns. Like, you
Well,
could
hey,
not
bro,
tell
if you
them
remember,
in the
if you remember in 1997, they said the only team in the nation that can beat those Minnesota Vikings with the Ohio State team, and they ended up losing to you guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they these guys here, they're like true diehard. So it just got to me where I just didn't like the Ohio State fans, and just by nature of hating on the Ohio State fans, I became a Michigan fan. If that makes sense,
That's
like
fair.
the antithesis, you know what I mean? I
That's
became the
fair.
antithesis. So
Yeah,
that's why.
that's fair.
That's
My dad graduated Ohio State, and then after that, there's no choice.
yeah. That I heard you say that, and that's why I said we're similar because, like, I mean, my family has season tickets to Pitt games. I probably go to
Mhm.
more Pitt games than I do Michigan, but it's like Pitt's just since Larry Fitzgerald, it's not been the same. Like,
I'm a closet Steelers fan. Being a Cowboys fan isn't fun anymore for me. So
yeah, yeah,
as of right now, I watched one Cowboys game. I watched more Steelers games than Cowboys games last year.
I can imagine. I mean, the Cowboys are just a mess, dude. They should be better, but But this year, as far as Pittsburgh, I was trying to ignore them. I was really mad about the draft, not because of the
Mhm.
Ohio State players. I would actually say
Yeah.
right now, of Steelers draft class that I'm the most excited about is probably Will Howard. Probably Will Howard. I saw Will Howard make some plays in the playoffs, and
Right.
I think as far as all of the other quarterbacks that the Steelers have tried to bring in since Ben Roethlisberger, I think Will Howard's got the right gunslinger type mentality for a Pittsburgh quarterback. So I'm actually pretty excited about him.
Yeah.
But
What were your thoughts when you guys drafted Will Howard?
honestly, I was surprised. I thought a couple times they would take Shador. Obviously, I mean, there was just really I didn't like Shador as much as I liked Will Howard. So when it happened, I was happy. I was like, yes, they didn't take Sanders. They took Howard. Howard's a big, strong guy.
Mhm.
Like that's what Pittsburgh likes. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I was pretty excited. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of my other Michigan fan friends that are Steeler fans were like, "Oh,
Mhm.
what the fuck?" But even they've kind of come around. I think most of them, like Lynch Max from Maze's show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a Steeler fan. So him and I talk about it. Both of us were like, we wanted to hate on it, but neither of us could. We're both pretty excited. And I think that's kind of the sentiment for the
Mhm.
others. Like my best friend Miles, he's a Steeler Michigan fan. We're all kind of on board. So hopefully it is what it looks like it could be, especially with Rogers actually seeming like he wants to reach out and help him. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully he has a good career though. He's a Steeler.
What do you think the hardest games for Michigan are this year?
What games do I think we lose? Uh,
Not lose. Not lose. Just what do you think are hard? The tough ones you're looking
the
at.
t- the tough ones. I mean, obviously Oklahoma. That's going to be tough. But I
Okay.
am not nearly as high on Oklahoma as a lot of people. I
Really?
think, yeah, I think that Oklahoma and Michigan are going to be in the same exact point. They both have new quarterbacks. Both have new OCs. Both are coming off of disappointing seasons last year, and it's going to be a pressure cooker for both.
Mhm.
So, but I think the pressure's a little bit more on Oklahoma because of the fact that their coach has had multiple years to fix things. Actually, he kind of even wrecked some things. So it's like I think with those aspects of Oklahoma, I think there's going to be also the type of offense that Michigan can run. Now, obviously, they want to do more with Chip Kelly, but we all know if Michigan just turtles up and runs the ball, they can pretty much do that against anyone. I don't think we have the offensive line we've had in the past. But I think that if it becomes a game of like inches, I just feel like Michigan's got so much more experience in that scenario. So that's why I'm not as high on Oregon. I mean, obviously they could lose, and that's definitely one of the games that I'm concerned about. But I think Michigan wins it. The
You want
one
to
I
answer?
think.
You want to answer this real quick for Mike?
All right, sure. What's he say? I'm sorry, I got the. I can't
Yeah,
see this.
no. So Mike asked Tree, y'all making the college football playoff this year?
It'll depend on the Oklahoma game.
Okay.
If they beat Oklahoma, yes, because we are probably going to lose at USD. That's probably going to happen.
Okay.
And I am, man, Michigan people are going to kill me for this. I'm more worried about Ohio State than I have been in the last 3 years. I'm pretty worried about them only because
Yeah.
of the fact that these are completely new dudes with none of the scar tissue from the losses. And I don't know that the mental aspect that Michigan has had over some of the guys that were there is going to be there, if that makes sense.
No, it makes a lot. It makes sense. Like for me, what I've kind of pointed to is that if you look at some like in 2021, right, when
Mhm.
you guys won that game, it was kind of unexpected, right? You would
Right.
say. You
Yeah.
look a little bit further back.
You want the
You know,
truth?
yeah, go ahead.
I didn't even watch that game, dude. I was getting updates from ESPN. I didn't even watch it.
Oh man, no, I get. I can actually understand why. And then and if you look back to
Thing is if
2001. Oh, go ahead, man.
no, what I was going to say is, you thought we were going to lose. It's because we were winning. I thought we were going to jinx it. So I didn't watch that game. I turned it off as soon as we were up. I said, it looks like we're going to win. I was just on pins and needles. I couldn't do it. I just used updates and watched like Rutgers or something.
No, you watched Rutgers.
There's something, I don't even know who it was, but it was like whoever the crappy game was on. I had to put that on. I couldn't do it. Like this, one of my friends was calling me. She's a huge Michigan fan. She's like, turn it on.
Oh, you there, Drew? Oh,
Yeah, I did
oh, there you
not
go. There you go.
expect that.
Yeah. It's funny. I actually had a shout out to my boy Lawson. I just he's a Wolverine fan. I actually had a conversation with him today. He's just being a fan, but he's not worried about USC. But I'm like,
Dude, we're probably gonna
if you look at the schedule, the Big Ten schedule that week, more
Yeah.
than like that's not gonna be. It can't be a big noon game, right?
No.
And then there's other games in that week. That's more than likely going to be the night game that week.
Pretty much.
So
I mean,
yeah. And so a night game at Southern Cal, you're traveling over there.
they almost won it at the Pig House.
Oh, they should have won. Like I don't know. Actually, I saw someone posted that that last drive you guys had against them today, and I posted on that saying I couldn't explain the stupidity of USC in that last drive where you guys had Alex Orji on the field, and like on 5 plays USC plays zone. What are you doing?
That's yeah.
I've never seen a 2-minute drill and you guys just straight up run the ball. That was insane.
That was pretty early on for we Michigan caught them at the perfect time because their defense was a lot better than that later in the season. But yeah, that and the strip of KG when he picked the fumble up and was running. When I saw him get stripped, I was like, because I mean it's Michigan.
Man.
If you're a Michigan fan, you have to be honest with yourself because you've seen some crazy shit happen, dude. Trouble with the snap, Appalachian State. So like when you see Kenneth Grant get stripped
Right
from behind like that, it's like
when I saw that, oh man, I let it rip on X. I let it rip.
I bet you did. That's why. Those are. But yeah, those 3 games are the ones I'm most worried about. But again, as I said, it is Michigan, so anything can happen with Michigan State. I mean, actually, that one, like a lot of other Michigan fans are really secure about that one, but I'm like, man, every time you think Michigan State is out or down and out, that's when they fucking beat us. And there's been a lot of little brother talk. I hate little brother talk because
Oh
every time
man,
somebody says that, we get beat.
isn't there? I think isn't their record like 10-7 against you guys since that comment?
It's something crazy. Yeah, it's something
Yeah,
crazy. And
you
every
know,
time people say it, if you remember, Chase Winovich said it, and then the next year they beat us.
yeah. When I saw that comment, I said I saw you guys whipping them belts. I said, all right, all
Yeah,
right.
you can't say that to them. Like I'm not a full-on superstitious fan, even though I said I didn't watch the Michigan game. But
Right.
little brother is just one of those things. It's like giving Popeye spinach or something. You can't say that to them because it gives them superpowers.
No, I'll tell you what, and it's things like that that make me happy that the next closest thing we have like for Ohio State is Cincinnati, and that ain't nothing to worry about.
No,
Ain't
yeah,
nothing to worry about. But
it's
shoot, man,
Akron.
anything you want to leave us with, man? Before, I'm gonna read some of these comments, some of these questions. Here, anything you want to leave us
No,
with?
you're good, bro. Like I said, I'm a man of my word. I had to call in. I told you I would.
No, I know, hey, Tree, man, I appreciate you for calling. I had to start the show a little bit earlier today, but I
All good.
appreciate you.
I just luckily looked online and saw you were on, so I was
No,
like, oh shit.
It was funny when I did this. I actually thought about you and I said, man, I hope he sees
Yeah,
this.
no, well, I couldn't talk shit and then not call in. Like I'm a man of my word.
No, I appreciate you, bro. But you have a good rest of your evening. All right.
All right, my man. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. All right, man. That's my guy, Tree, man. You gotta love a good Wolverine fan. But I have some questions here that I actually want to get to. Let me see. Where was it? So yeah, this is earlier from the Ultimate Sports Network. Do you think? All right, here we go. Do you guys think that everything Texas fans in the media has said about down on Ohio State in Texas is just going to come there and stomp them week one? Do you think Ohio State will use motivation? Yeah. And I think I saw someone earlier. And actually, like Jam right here says the way Day is talking, they are hungry, and I agree. I don't. They took down a lot of the banners. Of course, they're not going to take away the trophy and the suit and the wood, and they're not going to take down the banner that's in the Woody facility on the field. But anything else that pertains to that, they took down. And listen, I think this team's hungry because they like Jeremiah Smith said, they haven't won anything. This team hasn't. That's last year's team, right? So I'm really confident that Ohio State's going to come out that game and be ready to play. I'm very confident that Ohio State, like other programs, won't come up a national championship and find a win-lose spot and get 5 losses because that's not what Ohio State does, and we're better than that. So I think there's a good listen. I'll tell you this: if one team was to get donkey stomped, it would be Texas. It wouldn't be Ohio State. But again, everybody. By the way, if you're just joining in now and you missed part of the show earlier, you missed the show earlier this week. Maybe you missed Mark's show this on Tuesday. Maybe you missed Mike and Terry's show on the World Famous Buckeye show yesterday on Wednesday at 7:30, which you can find every Wednesday at 7:30 here at the Voice of College Football. You can go listen to the audio also on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon to be able to check. You can check those out. And again, if you haven't already, everybody, please hit that like button for the channel. Again, that's all we ask for here at Monetarily. And if you would want to become a member here, again, working on some interviews that we're going to get going here, please hit that join button. You can see the tiers that we have on the Black Oak Club, the JT wasn't short, and of course, we don't give a damn, and you know the rest. So I do want to see if we have some questions here that I did want to get to. Oh man, let's see if we can find out. Oh, Burks, what's up, Burks? By the way, Burks, I did happen to catch yesterday's show on the guys' console at the Michigan Boys College Football, but I was happy that you guys were able to talk that out. And so I actually did talk to TJ about it. I'm like, man, listen, I do get where Burks comes from, but I'll see you guys coming from. So I'm happy. I am happy that you guys were able to talk that out, and at the end of the day, man, it's all good, man. It's all good. Wait, Mike. Wait. Yeah, Garrison shocked me with this early crap. What early crap? I'm missing it. I'm missing it. You gotta put it in here again. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Let me see right here. All the middle of the pack big teams go 6, 6, 7, and 5. I agree, but I do think there's a few teams though that are in that range from I would say 6, 7 wins to 9 or 10 wins. I would say the Wolverines are in there. I think Washington could possibly be in there, USC, Indiana, and Illinois. So I do think those teams are somewhere around there. Let's see. And Moose, by the way, Ohio State ain't going 8-4, bro. We ain't built like y'all. We are built much different than y'all. Trust me on that. We don't have Alex orgies in our calls in our quarterback room. So that you can if you hey Moose, by the way, if you want to put a bet on 8-4, 9-3, my line is open on here. I will put my Cash App in here and we can make a bet of whatever amount that you want. Whatever amount that you want. Let me see. Gotta love it. Gotta love looking at that. They could never do that to us. Let me see what else. I don't want to miss anything in here. Let me see this. So we got Gixxer Squid. UFC fan. Thank you for joining in. Glad you could be here. Says as a UFC fan, I objectively believe Ohio State will beat Texas. Yeah, and I think that there are the Wolverine fans and Texas fans. I understand some Texas fans if you come to me with a reason why Texas can win, like my guy Matthew Miller does, I can understand why he believes so. Also for other people, but I do think that when you talk about bringing in their new offensive line that they have, replacing mainly 3 of the 5 guys. Trevor Gooseby was a right guard center who has over 1,500 snaps over his career at Texas. He's going to be a center this year. They should be fine for him at center. But I do think when you look at the right tackle spot, which is 65 or less snaps, you look at the left tackle, 500 or less, left guard, 200 less snaps. I do think it's a little bit hard to ask your team to have some continuity and then come into Columbus, Ohio, and build that during the game, right? Though I do think they can have some success in running the ball, I do think it was still going to be tough for Texas. But yeah, I'm right with you. Again, Gixxer Squid, appreciate you coming here, man. We do have a USC Boys College Football channel here, so if you would like to, make sure to go check them out and what they got here, and you're always welcome back here, of course. See, Richie here, he says, common sense should tell you that all of those guys we lost were seniors and had no significant transfers the past 2 seasons, all hungry, super talent, underclassmen stepping in. I agree, and I think one of the biggest guys who has been talked about on this team is Kenyatta Jackson Jr. I can't wait to see what he looks like. I can't wait, and as we talk about him more, and as much as the more we hear about him, I'm leaning more on him being a possible All-American. I think that when you look at him, 6'5", 265 pounds, freak athlete, I think he's going to be a monster this year. Actually, and that's where Sonny Styles used him, monster. So, again, yeah, really looking forward to seeing that. Right here we have I just lost it. There we go. Oh, man, Amos, man, I just had you. Sorry about that. Let me get that back here. Amos says, yes, I will be soft and not have 4+ losses seasons like 7 of those last 15 years. Yeah, and by the way, Amos Automotive Paint and restoration. If anybody need that and you're around them, check them out. Not sure who you are, man, but I do want to put you out there and help. And listen, that's the name of it. So I want to give you some promo right there, man. But yeah, I do agree with that. Of course, Penn State Sports Talk. Got to see here. He says fans saying the quarterbacks ain't impressed today. Listen, first off, it's day 1. And again, I have it right here, everybody. St. Clair 8 for 9, Keno's 15 for 19, touchdown, good day. Sand 9 for 14, interception. I'm not going to sit here and cry and moan about this single day. Again, it's a long fall. We'll see what happens. We've seen worse days in fall camps. Not worried at all about that. Not worried at all. Says Moose said we ain't going 8-4, but yeah, but there's a better chance of you doing that than us. Please believe that. Let me see. Okay, and this is something I'm happy that was posted in here. My guy Buckeye Battle Cry, I'm sure, is this UP or is you Rob? With this Moose, not everything is about Michigan. Thank you. There was actually a Wolverine fan who was in here actually on X talking crap about Sonny Styles. And I'm like, dude, and he brought the Wolverine game. I'm like, dude, did you not watch Sonny Styles the rest of his football games, the other 14? At the end of the day, Ohio State had a second-team all Big Ten linebacker. While Michigan, Ernest Hausman, honorable mention, Jay Sean Barham, in the transfer and like in the Big Ten portal. Basically, he's not there. He's not mentioned. He sucked. He was ass, boo boo, cheeks, all that. So yeah, again, when you guys talk about how, listen, like everything doesn't surround around you guys. Again, you guys are a regional program who here and there wins a national championship. That's who you are. That's who you will always be. Your greatest coach ever in Bo Schembechler never even won a national championship. Sucked in Rose Bowls. You know, so I think I feel like sometimes Ohio State fans know more about your guys' history than you guys do. But yeah, that's it. Day One K says, and they're going against the best DBs in the Big Ten. Facts, man. And by the way, everybody, don't let it go. Don't let it go under the radar that Jermaine Matthews is wearing number 7 this year. Big year coming. Big year coming. Penn State Sports Talk says the Big Ten at our campus August 5th. Why are they doing to what? I'm sorry. Why are they doing to defending champs on August 7th? Tells me all I need to know. I don't know what does that tell you that you need to know. I don't get that comment, bro. I don't get that comment. Richie Dub says, "Am I the only one okay with King Holtz winning the job, bro?" Yes. I'm not saying yes to that, but I want to say this. I don't care who the starting quarterback is. At the end of the day, I believe that Ryan Day will put the best guy in the spot to play quarterback at Ohio State. Even though everyone wants to dog on, Mike and I disagree on this, but everyone wants to dog on Kyle McCord. In 2023, Kyle McCord was the right choice over Devin Brown. He was. So yeah, I'm not worried about that, man. Whoever is, man, I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm perfectly fine with it. Here, hey Bergs, I got a couple minutes here, but I'm gonna drop it for you right now, bro. I got a couple minutes here that I gotta end the show. But it's right in there, brother, for you to call in. Yeah, you can say that. You can say that, Mike. But at the end of the day, Devin Brown's at Cal. He's at Cal. And Devin Brown could have easily stayed this past season. He could have easily stayed, and he didn't. Lincoln Kilton, Julian Sander here. Bergs, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, my man?
What's
Yeah,
going on?
yesterday was crazy, I won't lie.
Yeah, I heard, man. I heard.
It's fine, man. I had to just talk it out and just apologize because I think it was getting really bad. It was getting worse and worse, and at the end of the day I do like TJ and Johnny, but I don't agree with how they run stuff. And like I said, Garrison, I want like our fan base to be like an Ohio State fan base. I want us to be like, like me and you, man, like we're respectable and we have
Yeah,
respect with each other and stuff. That's what I want, man. But unfortunately, it's not going to work, and there's just no point now at this point. So, and that's the thing. I feel like the rivalry, man, it's getting worse and worse. Like as
I
in
feel
terms
you.
of respect, you know.
I
Like
feel you.
I'm not gonna lie, Garrison, and this is like for real. I think in the next 5 years, someone's gonna murder somebody over this rivalry.
I
You
mean,
know?
happened in Auburn and Alabama.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna happen in 5 years. And that's what I feel. Just like someone's gonna get drunk or something, and they get into a fight, and he punches somebody, or his head hits, or someone shoots somebody. And that's the thing. I want us to be like a respectable fan base in terms of
Mhm.
other like our rivals too, right? To respect, but at the end of the day, it's just not going to work out. There's no point.
And let me say this. Like, because
Yeah,
I watched that whole thing,
yeah,
and at the end of the day, so me personally, I understand what you mean. What you mean by that.
hmm
Going about the best way about it, maybe not, but
yeah,
I do understand what you mean, because at the end of the day, like, as someone who played the game, uh, I do think that respect should be given.
yeah,
Uh, you know, no, I'm a little bit different. I'm born and raised in the state of Michigan, so maybe I'm a little bit different than someone a Buckeye fan
yeah,
born in Ohio. So I see the rivalry a little bit different. But at the end of the day, like, and I would say the same for even like when you guys play Michigan State. I do think there should be a healthy type of respect there. And like
yeah,
when I like the conversation that I have had with TJ, is that like when you continue, like I'll give you listen, bro. I know what you're talking about. Like that one day when you talk about Maniac, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I continuously try to have a football conversation, and then he goes off the rails and says disgusting stuff. And John, I see you. I see you in there. Like John, I see you in there. But I think there are things that you probably you miss that you don't see. And there's things like when I like John, I could be on your guy's show and I can make a comment, a basic common sense comment, and your chat will say the most outlandish shit. You guys will argue me up and down, like when I say Derek Moore is better than TJ Guy, and nothing's called out, right? Or when people, or like I said, when it comes to Maniac. So don't get me wrong, bro. Like, listen, they might not see where you're coming from. And again, like, I think it could have gone about a better way. Yes, I would say that. I would agree with them on that.
Yeah,
but I'm also not gonna sit here and ask, why do you want the acceptance of respect from another fan base? Well, hell no. I want listen, for me personally, yeah. I do want other fan bases to respect my program. And it's also because if you feel as though your program should be respected and you think that your program has done things to be respected, and you guys are blue blood at the end of the day, right? Yeah. So no, like no, don't get me wrong, bro. I see where you're coming from. I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not like do I think it was a little bit but like I think two things can be true. Do I think that you might have gone about it the wrong way? Like on Mark's show? Yes. Do I think it was a little off base for John yesterday to go like hellfire and brimstone on you? Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like John, I can point out plenty of clips where you say outlandish stuff, outlandish Michigan takes, like you guys did about saying, is there a quarterback problem in Ohio State because Ryan Day didn't name his quarterback before the fall, which he's never done. I think that's I think that's insane to say. I think it lacks all. I think it lacks integrity in the show, and I think that you guys don't have to say things just for clicks. I could say that easily to you guys. So again, like don't get me wrong, bro. Like I get it all. Everybody, two things can be true at the same time, right? So yeah, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, I do think it's good that you guys went and talked out the end. I do think it's good that you apologize. I do think that was warranted. So yeah.
And also I just also don't like sore loser takes, like, in Michigan, like our fan base, right? Like says Mickey Mouse title to Ohio State. I just don't like that because
it's our word. It's stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah,
it's stupid.
It's so pathetic, bro. Mickey Mouse title. What the hell? No, their title is weighted as much as our title. Yes, they lost to Michigan and they didn't win the Big Ten. And yes, Michigan season I think was, like they were undefeated. Your guys wasn't. But at the end of the day, man, your title is weighted as much as our title. So it's just sore, like these sore loser takes too. But I just have to, a lot of these guys are just having fun, and I'm getting a little too, aggressive and like pretty aggressive on this because I feel like I said, I want our fan base to be perfect. But at the end of the day, now I've just, given up, and I'm just not going to really talk trash about like the 3 Michigan channels. And,
hey, Moose, please.
So.
Moose, please. I think you're one of the dumbest Michigan fans out there.
No, that he is, man. He is actually the most stupidest Michigan fan.
I have forgotten more about football than you have in your pinky. Please believe that.
Dude, no, he's a 46-year-old who's like the most like pathetic Michigan fan on earth, okay? He fights with a recruit. He literally says bad stuff about a recruit and stuff. So I already, make my case here. So, yeah, I can't. But no, basically, man, I'm just like, and I'll just say this, Garrison, I'm not going to try and have any more beef with,
No, you should, because I've told them, you like their show. I've told them that. So.
Yeah, no, it's like, I'm not going to have beef with those 3 Michigan channels anymore, but I'm just going to say this, Garrison, I'm going to attack some of the people in the community, like not like the hosts or co-hosts, but the ones who are taking shots at me, I'm going to throw shots at them. So if you see me swearing at a guy on a chat, well, that's because, I have to get him back for it. So I'm just letting you know. All right.
No, Bergs, I blocked you because you say ill, nasty stuff about me. That's why. But no, man. But no, I appreciate you, man. And
yeah.
All right, man. You have a good rest of your night, brother.
Yeah,
right?
you too, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, take care, my man.
Peace. And real quick before I go, because I do want to read this. John, you say here's the difference, Garrett. So you're not afraid to put your face and name out there and have your own show and run the content the way you want. Bergs wants to just run other people's shows, and that's why I said two things can be true, and that he was wrong in the way he went about it. I do understand that. At the same time, I can also sit here and say, a lot of people in your fan base, you guys call up in your shows and do the same thing. Is that not true? So yeah, two things can be true. So again, guys, first listen. At the end of the day, guys, I do things can be respected, but I do think things don't have to get out of hand like the guy Maniac does, who I think is one of the most outlandish people on YouTube. But at the end of the day, guys, please make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check out the rest of the content that we have here at the Voice of College Football. Whether you're friends, family, or foe, we have everything from the team up north to North Carolina to Oklahoma to Texas. We have it all here, guys. Also, be sure to check out Ohio State Primetime at 7:30 on Mondays. On Mondays here at the Voice of College Football. The Ohio State Show with Mark Rogers at 11 a.m. on Wednesdays. On the same time on Wednesdays, 7:30. The world famous Buckeye Show, the world famous Buckeye Show with Mike and Terry at 7:30 p.m. And then, of course, start a little bit early today, but 7:30 is on Thursdays here at Ohio State at the Voice of College Football. Thank you all for coming here, and as always, OHIO.